It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Newell. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the weekly interviews and recaps from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. But for those of you who do know me, you know that that's not why we're always here, right? Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. And with that being said, let's jump right in. Okay, guys, so we are back to talk about the Girardi cases. Erika Girardi, Erika Jane, Erika Chahoy, whatever you want to call her. We are back to talk about exactly what's going on. Of course, we've been giving updates as we've been going, and this situation just seems like it's getting worse and worse. Now, just to give you guys a recap, a really brief one in case you've not been following what's going on. Obviously, Erika Girardi filed for divorce back in November, and everyone wanted to know why. Why are you filing for divorce all of a sudden after 20 plus years? What is the real reason? Is it because you're just over this man? Was there infidelity involved? Or is there something deeper? Now, of course, after she filed for divorce, it seemed like cases just started rolling out against Mr. Girardi for alleged embezzlement. Yeah. Not only did cases start coming out over alleged embezzlement, but they were just one after another. And then the cases sort of got a little questionable, I guess we can say. And it's not me saying it. It's basically other lawyers who are following the case so closely. Emily D. Baker, who is a legal commentator on YouTube, who we love. Ronald Richards, who is another high-power attorney who's been following the case super closely on Twitter. I mean, I think we can take their word for it at least, right? So some of these questionable actions would include Mr. Girardi being diagnosed with late onset Alzheimer's and early dementia. Okay, so that happened. Then right after, well, technically right before, his brother applied for conservatorship. It was a temporary conservatorship, but now he is going for a more permanent situation. That way he can help his brother guide through exactly what's going on in these legal cases, where he can guide his brother through his finances, so on and so forth. Exactly what a conservatorship is, right? Not only that, 2 trustees were appointed by the courts to comb through not only Mr. Girardi's, but also Erika's assets as well, because their divorce is not final. So these trustees are going to comb through every single asset, the private jets, the $16 million mansion, the other homes, the cars, the art, the jewelry, combing through all of these assets in order to pay back the creditors. So we were wondering how much is actually owed? How much did they actually have at one time? And what's left to be paid off? Now, we know that Mr. Girardi was finally evicted from his Pasadena mansion. And after that happened, his soon-to-be ex-wife is now rejecting the sale of the mansion. She's rejecting the sale because she wants at least $600,000 back. She feels like that is owed to her, especially after being married to Mr. Girardi for as long as she was. And a lot of people are speculating maybe this is just for her legal bills. Who knows? She's not the only soon-to-be ex-wife. Well, technically, she is the only soon-to-be ex-wife contesting this, but also there is another ex-wife who feels like she's owed some money too out of the sale of the Pasadena mansion. Ouch. Moving forward, the million-dollar question is, or the millions of dollars question is, how much money is actually owed? Well, thank goodness we have our legal commentator, Emily D. Baker, who is out here putting the receipts out and showing us what they have and what was owed. And the amount is absolutely outstanding. Here, I'll share it with you right now. So after sharing a spreadsheet online of showing exactly what they own, what their assets total, the amounts start at and then finally come to here, $17,600,000 in assets plus $56,849,000 in assets and a little bit of change, equaling a total of $74,449,000 and change. Okay, so those were their total assets. So with over $74 million, how much could you possibly owe back to these victims, these alleged victims of embezzlement? Not only victims of alleged embezzlement, but also victims of horrendous tragedies. Victims who have endured burnings, plane crashes, boat crashes, car crashes, so on and so forth. This is insane. But hold on, I know you guys want to know what's owed, so here it is. So in the lineup of what is owed, there is the first number, which is $16,185,000 plus $5,373,045. Wait, there's more. Plus $35,242,916 and some change. Yes, add those three together and it is an outstanding amount of $56,800,961. And who cares about the cents at this point? This is absolutely insane. Now, again, we know that Mr. Girardi did come forward in the courts and he said that he doesn't know where the money is. He doesn't know how he went from, whoa, way up here, just kind of high rolling it, to zip, zilch, nothing, no money left in the till in order to pay back these creditors, no money to pay back these alleged victims, no money to pay off the cases, nothing. Not only does he say that he doesn't have the money or doesn't know where the money is, allegedly, right? This is what's being said in court, but he's also saying, just like that, with dementia and late onset Alzheimer's, he doesn't know where any of it is. Now, what was interesting in this is in this spreadsheet, it stated his monthly income. Well, the monthly income was, well, it would just make anyone question. How do you have millions and millions of dollars and your monthly income is, wait for it, $2,958 a month? $2,958. Wow. So guys, if you're a Bravo super fan, or fan of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you know that Erika Girardi, she's been very vocal. She's been vocal in the "it's expensive to be me" singer. Come out and said that she spends over $40,000 a month on glam. Listen, something is not adding up. So there's over $3,000 a month that you make in income, but you're spending $40,000 a month on glam, just your glam, your clothes. But what about the car bills, the electric bill, the water bill, the gardener, the mortgage, the private jet, the fuel for the private jet, the jewelry, the art? Where's the rest of that going? Where does that money come from? That's the biggest question, and that's what they're trying to figure out as of right now. But again, I said that there was an attorney who we all know, Ronald Richards, who's been following the cases very closely, and he's had a few words to say. Ronald Richards went on an episode of No Filter, #NoFilter, with Zach Peter, and he spilled what he knows or what he's been seeing as he's been following. Now, one of the biggest questions was, do you think that the Girardis will face any jail time? Well, apparently the answer is most likely not, which is mind-blowing, but they might actually move through this, navigate all of these cases, and come out on the other side without having to serve any jail time. Now, of course, there are people all over who are wondering, wait a minute, how did Teresa Giudice and her husband Joe, how did they have to not only pay back millions in restitution, but serve, I think, a total together of over 3 years, maybe even might have been a little bit more than that. Not only did they serve a collective jail time, but then Joe Giudice was deported back to Italy. Now, of course, we know that he's living in the Bahamas because we've seen him vacationing with his girls. But the point is, they did the crime, they did the time, and he was deported, kicked out of the country for the rest of his life. These seem like major repercussions compared to what is being said that might happen to the Girardis. Now, if this is the case, a lot of people are going to have a lot of questions, but we don't know anything yet because the court hasn't ruled in anyone's favor. They're still trying to comb through all of the assets, figure out exactly what's going on. And until they do, we're not going to have an answer. No one's going to have an answer. What we do know is Erika Girardi, all of them who's involved in the cases, they want their privacy. They want to walk through this situation and not really have too many eyes on it. And of course, that makes sense. If there's alleged embezzlement, alleged fraud going on, I don't think anybody would want their business out there, especially when you're on a major platform like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And now we know that Erika is not the only one who's famous for something, but Mr. Girardi was famous too. He was famous for the Aaron Brockovich case, amongst many other high-power cases, and he's definitely made a name for himself. However, the CAALA has sort of taken back what that name means because they stripped him of his awards. He's no longer eligible to practice law in the state of California. He's still navigating through these cases, trying to figure out what his future looks like. And listen, at one point, he might have been a huge high-power attorney, but at this point, it just seems like, I don't even know what to call it. You guys go ahead and call it whatever you want. Again, as we proceed, everyone wants to know another big question. Now, is this $1 million question? Who knows? Who knows what Erika Girardi was paid for this current upcoming season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Which, guys, the trailer should be coming out very soon. Even though Andy Cohen said that it wouldn't be coming out before June, he said the same thing about The Real Housewives of New York trailer. But again, what we do know is not only Andy Cohen, but Garcelle and Lisa Rinna, they've all come forward and said, she's talking about it. She's talking about the cases. She's talking about her relationship, what went wrong, and she's talking about as much as she can legally without getting in trouble for it. Could this be good? Who knows? We might have one of the best seasons of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills ever, considering the season where Teresa Giudice was being indicted, unfortunately, was one of their highest rated seasons ever. And I only say unfortunately because it seems like people like to check in and watch when people are being prosecuted, when they see someone's life being turned upside down. They see this glamorous life, almost instead of rags to riches, go from riches to rags. That's what gets the ratings. That's, again, so unfortunate. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this is all going to play out? Do you think that the Girardis might actually walk scotch-free? They could, especially since that's what lawyers are saying. That's what a high-power attorney is saying based off of his knowledge from following this case so very closely. And what do you guys think about the amounts that are owed? The amount of assets versus the amount that's owed versus the $3,000 a month income? So many questions in my head, but thank God we are going live on Thursday with Emily D. Baker at, I believe, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I know we're going live with Emily to talk about The Real Housewives of New Jersey, which is always a pleasure because I love that she's a legal commentator, but I also love that she lives for Housewives. I love that. So I'm going to sneak in a few questions there, hopefully, and maybe she'll answer them. In the meantime, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because you guys don't want to miss anything we have coming up. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Check us out every Monday and Wednesday. Thanks for watching Up and Adam.